Have you ever been asked a question that seemed kind on the surface, but something in your gut whispered, no, something's off? The tone was soft, the smile, gentle. But the moment you answered, you felt it. You'd walked straight into a trap. A web spun with words. A snare you didn't see coming. That's how deception works. Not with shouting. Not with insults. But with questions, subtle, deliberate, psychological traps dressed as concern. If you don't see through them, you'll fall. You'll start doubting yourself. You'll apologize for things you didn't do. You'll defend yourself against shadows someone else created. And before long, you're not fighting them anymore. You're fighting your own mind. That's how manipulators win. The Stoic philosophers understood this weakness centuries ago. Seneca warned us. Epictetus taught us. Marcus Aurelius lived it. They knew liars rarely attack directly. They insert doubt. They plant quiet seeds of confusion. Then they step back. And watch you unravel yourself. 2,000 years later, their techniques haven't disappeared. They've only evolved, smoother, quieter, hidden behind smiles and politeness. The packaging changed. The purpose did not. In this video, we'll expose 5 of the most manipulative questions ever asked. Questions designed not to find truth, but to gain control. And more importantly, I'll show you how to respond like a Stoic. With composure. With strength. With absolute clarity. Because once you see the trap, you're no longer the prey. You are the calm within the storm. Stay until the end. And if this message strengthens your inner armor, don't subscribe for my sake. Do it for your own journey toward clarity, composure, and unshakable self-possession. Question 1. Why are you being so sensitive? It sounds harmless, doesn't it? Almost compassionate. But beneath those words hides something venomous. Because what's really being said isn't curiosity. It's criticism. You're overreacting. You're imagining things. I'm not the problem, you are. How many times have you expressed discomfort? Only to be brushed off with a smirk. You're too sensitive. Relax. Don't make it a big deal. That's not empathy. That's strategy. They want to make you question your instincts. To turn your perception into a flaw. They reframe your awareness as weakness. But understand this, your sensitivity is not fragility. It's vigilance. It's your inner radar detecting the truth others can't see. A Stoic doesn't deny feeling. He filters it through reason. He doesn't bury intuition. He refines it into wisdom. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Manipulators weaponize that truth. They want you to suffer inside your own head. To guard their comfort while doubting your clarity. But perception is power. Sensitivity, guided by reason, becomes your greatest defense. So when someone smirks and says, "Why are you being so sensitive?" Don't shrink. Don't explode. Just meet their gaze and reply, "I'm not being sensitive. I'm being perceptive." Does that make you uncomfortable? One sentence, and the air changes. Because manipulators never expect calm power. Question 2, you trust me, don't you? This one sounds warm. Familiar. But it's not a question, it's a test. When someone asks, "You trust me, right?" They're not looking for reassurance. They're demanding obedience. True trust never needs to be requested. It's proven through time, consistency, and truth. Anyone who needs to ask for your trust is already worried about losing it. This question is designed to silence your instincts. To make you feel guilty for thinking critically. It's emotional blackmail disguised as affection. Epictetus warned us. It is impossible to learn what you think you already know. Liars depend on that blindness. They want you to stop questioning. To stop noticing. To stop learning the truth. So when someone says, "You trust me, don't you?" Take a breath. Stay grounded. Then respond. Trust is something earned over time. Are you asking me to abandon my judgment? If they're genuine, they'll respect that. If they're hiding something, they'll flinch. Because truth doesn't fear examination, only lies do. Question 3, are you accusing me? This one is a trap in its purest form. It's not meant to clarify, it's meant to confuse. You notice something off. You ask a question. And suddenly, the spotlight turns on you. Are you accusing me? Instantly, you're on defense. You start explaining, justifying, apologizing. And in that moment, you lose your footing. Because now, the discussion isn't about their behavior. It's about your audacity. Marcus Aurelius gave us the solution. The best answer to anger is silence. Silence doesn't mean submission. It means control. Don't let them drag you into emotional chaos. Let the question hang. Then, calmly say, "Should I be?" 3 words that flip the entire game. Because manipulators feed on your reactivity. When you give them composure instead, they choke on it. Remember. The person who fears accusation most is often the one hiding the truth. Question 4, would I lie to you? This question wears silk gloves, but it hides a blade. It's not curiosity. It's theater. Would I lie to you? It's meant to shame you for doubting. To make you feel guilty for wanting the truth. But think, why would someone say this unless they already sensed your suspicion? Why the need for performance if there's nothing to hide? Seneca taught. If it's not true, don't speak it. If it's not right, don't do it. Those who live by that need no defense. Their integrity is visible. Their honesty speaks for itself. But manipulators? They rely on emotion to cloud logic. A cheating partner deletes messages and feigns pain. Would I lie to you? A coworker hides numbers and laughs. Come on, would I lie? The louder they insist, the less you should believe. So how does the Stoic respond? Pause. Breathe. Hold the silence. Then say. That's not the question. The question is, would I even know if you did? Now you control the frame. Because truth doesn't beg to be believed. Question 5, can't we just move on? This is the final act in the manipulator's performance. The curtain trembles. The lies begin to unravel. And when they feel the truth closing in, they play their last card, the illusion of peace. They sigh, lower their voice, and say, "Can't we just move on?" To the untrained ear, it sounds noble, mature, even. A call to put the past behind. But a Stoic knows better. It's not peace they want. It's escape. Because, "Can't we just move on," is not an invitation to heal, it's a plea to forget. It's the manipulator's way of burying the truth before it can fully rise. The disguise of peace. It's easy to fall for this line, especially if you crave harmony. We're taught that forgiveness is strength. That moving on is wisdom. But Stoicism reminds us, true peace is built on truth, not avoidance. When someone says, "Can't we just move on?" what they often mean is, "I don't want to take responsibility. I'm tired of being questioned. I want comfort without consequences." They don't want resolution. They want relief, from your awareness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." There's no exception clause there. No hidden footnote that says, unless it's uncomfortable. Truth, to the Stoic, is timeless. It has no expiration date. So when someone hides behind that sentence, can't we just move on? Look them calmly in the eye and say, I'll move on when I fully understand what happened, not a moment before. That's not anger. That's clarity. That's the composure of a man who refuses to be gaslit into silence. The Stoics' armor. Manipulators never fight you with logic. They fight you with exhaustion. They win not by being right, but by wearing you down. They drain your emotional reserves until you surrender just to make the tension stop. They weaponize fatigue. They weaponize guilt. They weaponize your empathy. And once you're emotionally overwhelmed, you become easy to steer, not through reason, but through relief. But the Stoic refuses to play that game. A Stoic doesn't wrestle in the mud of emotion. He moves through chaos like still water, clear, reflective, undisturbed. Epictetus taught. Some things are up to us. Others are not. You can't control their lies. You can't control their motives. But you can control your response. You decide whether to rush or remain still. You decide whether to react or reflect. You decide whether their manipulation reaches your peace or not. That's the essence of Stoic power, response control. When they call you too sensitive, remember, awareness isn't weakness, it's precision. When they try to guilt you for asking questions, remember, truth never fears inspection. And when they beg you to just move on, remember, time itself will reveal what's real. Lies decay. Truth endures. Why they want you to move on. Can't we just move on, is not just a phrase, it's a psychological tactic. It disarms confrontation by appealing to your higher nature. They know you value peace, so they weaponize peace against you. They know you want to be the bigger person. So they bait you into silence under the guise of maturity. But Stoicism teaches us that false peace is worse than open conflict. Because peace built on deception is not peace, it's decay disguised as calm. Seneca said, "He who hides his disease cannot be cured." When you suppress truth to keep the illusion of peace, you infect the relationship, and your spirit, with quiet resentment. The infection grows in silence. The trust dies in the shadows. And one day, what was hidden becomes unmanageable. That's why Stoics don't fear confrontation, they respect it. Not as a fight, but as purification. Fire doesn't destroy metal, it refines it. Truth doesn't destroy relationships, it exposes which ones were built on lies. Emotional control is the true weapon. Here's the manipulator's greatest frustration. They can't control someone who stays calm. When they see you composed, not defensive, not emotional, just aware, their entire script collapses. They depend on your reactions to keep their power alive. The more you react, the more they redirect. But when you stop reacting, when you simply observe, they lose their weapon. That's why the Stoic remains unshaken. He doesn't rush to move on. He doesn't need to prove his point. He simply waits, and in that waiting, truth reveals itself. Time becomes his ally. Patience becomes his shield. Silence becomes his sword. Modern Stoicism, accountability over closure. In our modern world, closure has become a psychological drug. We crave it because it promises relief from discomfort. But Stoics didn't chase closure, they sought understanding. They knew that rushing to move on is often an escape from pain, not a path to wisdom. True closure doesn't come from ignoring the wound, it comes from cleaning it. So when someone says, "Can't we just move on?" understand that they're asking you to bypass accountability. But the Stoic heart knows. There can be no peace without truth. No healing without honesty. No progress without reflection. To move on too soon is to move on blind. A Stoic response to manipulation. When faced with this question, the Stoic doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't insult. He doesn't argue. He observes, and then answers with precision. Moving on requires truth. I'm not here to punish you, I'm here to understand. That one sentence neutralizes manipulation instantly. It shifts the power from emotion to reason. It transforms chaos into clarity. Because when you seek truth, not victory, you win both peace and power. Final reflections, the man who sees clearly. You are not the pawn. You are the player. Now you know the 5 questions, 5 psychological traps designed to twist perception. But awareness cuts the strings. It makes you untouchable. In the comments, write these words. I choose clarity. Because clarity is liberation. It's the light that dissolves manipulation. It's the force that makes you immune to deceit. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, all taught the same truth. The man who sees clearly cannot be controlled. Not because he is loud. Not because he is cruel. But because he knows. And knowledge is the end of manipulation. The Stoic path forward. So walk as the Stoic does. Calm. Patient. Immovable. Hold your standards high. Protect your peace. Honor your awareness. You are not cold for setting boundaries. You are not cruel for needing truth. You are not difficult for demanding clarity. You are awake. And in a world built on illusion, the one who sees clearly will always be feared. Choose reason over reaction. Choose discipline over chaos. Choose truth over comfort. Because awareness isn't pain, it's power. And the Stoic always chooses clarity.